Welcome back to the Restaurant Show. If you love beer, and I think everybody does, you'll want to stick around for this segment. I'm joined now by Isaac Showaki from Third Sign Brewery and Brandon Reid from Breakwater. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, guys. So, Brandon, you're going to be making some food, and Isaac, you're going to talk about how that food pairs well with beer.
Definitely.
So, Isaac, let's start with you. What are you going to make for us first today?
So we're going to start off with matching with his Jungle Grapefruit Ipa. We're going to make a confit pork belly dish with a celery root puree. It also has a little accent of parsnip in there. And then we're going to serve that with a side of poached pear stuffed with some port bloomed figs and cranberries. And then we'll have a little side salad of arugula with green apple vinaigrette.
Excellent. So that sounds like, no big deal or anything like that. So why don't we get started here? So you start out by putting...
All right, so this is basically, we just got to have a non-stick pan.
Okay.
This is cooked in duck fat.
Duck fat, really? Okay.
So we're just going to like slowly let that render down, let the heat start melting the fat for us, and then it'll crisp up.
Okay.
And let that get a little time in there.
Okay, interesting. So that's the first step, is we want to have that, you said render down, is that what the phrase you used?
Yep, so you'll always have a little fat cap on there. Fat obviously will cook down and turn into almost your shortening or your oil to cook with. So as we move it around, you can see that more oil is filling up the pan. And as we continue on, it'll start to get real crispy. So basically we can do 90% of the plate and then just finish that at the end. Okay,
cool. And what is confit cooking?
Confit cooking is actually one of the first methods of preservation. Before they used to pack things in salt when we didn't have refrigeration.
Sure.
So somewhere along the way, someone figured out that if you buried clay pots below the ground and encased all of the meat product in fat, and if you didn't break that fat seal, it would actually last hundreds of years.
Wow. No kidding.
Yeah, so now we don't really do preservation anymore. We have refrigerators and freezers, but the flavor that comes out of it when you cook something in fat, obviously not the healthiest option, but it is quite tasty.
Oh, who cares? Eat a carrot if you want to get healthy. So, okay. So this is crisp confit pork belly. Isaac, I wonder if you could talk to us about how the beer that we're going to have today matches the flavors. How does that complement the flavor?
Definitely. So Brandon's doing an incredible dish here. What we brought in here, it's our Jungle Grapefruit Ipa.
Okay.
We start with a grapefruit base, an IPA, and we mix it together to blend it. So these flavors of citrus and a little bit of hoppiness just blend beautiful with a nice pork that he's cooking right here.
All right.
And then he complements with the celery puree that he's doing, and with the other sauces with the fig and the poached pear. So it's just a perfect complement of the fruity and the acidity and the actual the fatty of the pork.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we could pour a little bit.
Yeah, let's pour some right now. I'm
try.
thirsty, as I'm sure many of you are right now. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So this is the Jungle Grapefruit IPA.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's about
That's delicious.
6.5% alcohol. It's very drinkable.
Yeah.
It's great for hot weather.
Yeah, very refreshing. Yeah. Very refreshing. Excellent. So then the next step, now what is this that you're putting on the plate here?
This is the celery root and parsnip puree.
Okay. So that actually is something that goes on the plate. It doesn't go in the pan as I'm looking at.
Yep, so basically the idea of this dish is to break down each component. You have salty, sweet, and acidic.
Okay.
With a little bit of pepperiness of the arugula.
Okay.
So.
All right, so do you want to do...
I can do a quick little plating for you.
Yeah, for sure. And then we've got... you're going to be making some a watermelon salad with honeydew as well.
Yes.
Okay.
So here we have our poached pear. It was cooked in white wine.
That's poached pear, wow.
Yep.
Cool.
So I use cranberry juice to get that color out of there. Also take some of add a little bit of tartness. We used star anise.
Sure, okay.
And see, now we're just gonna nicely put some figs in here.
All right, oh, those are dried figs.
Yep, and then we're rehydrated with some...
This looks beautiful too.
Rehydrated with a little bit of port wine.
Okay. Wow, you're putting a lot of time into this presentation. Is this available at Breakwater?
I will be. This is more of a kind of a fall dish. It's a little heavier.
Okay.
The salad that we'll be approaching later actually is, but we made it vegetarian, so not only the meat eaters
Okay.
got to enjoy themselves.
So, you know, if you're vegan, you can head over there as well. Wow.
So
That was
now,
delicious.
That is really, I've never seen such a presentation. That's awesome. Okay, so what are we adding here, Brian?
this is demi-glace.
Okay.
This is a 3 animal demi-glace. It's chicken stack, beef stack, and pork stack.
All right. Wow.
All right.
That's very cool.
So now we're just gonna take some of our greens here.
So the greens are what? Now, are the greens going on the? Is that part of the dish?
Yeah, it's just a nice little accent for
Okay.
some acid and a little bit of
Got it.
young greens have pepper, kind of like a lot of pepper flavor that comes through.
Okay. Great.
So
So and the dressing that you used was the.
it was a green apple and pear.
Green
Like you strain it and
Sure.
reduce it down,
Okay.
and then it basically kind of comes off as like a glaze.
Yeah.
So then we can just throw a little garnish on here and make it pretty.
Sure.
These are just green onions that were put in ice water and
Okay.
then they curl up like that.
Fantastic. Is this the finished product or pretty close?
Looks beautiful.
Yep, that's pretty much
awesome.
it.
Do you have 30 seconds to put together the watermelon salad?
I do.
You can
All
do
right.
that? All right. All right. So let's talk about the other type of beer that you brought
Yep.
here, Isaac. What do we got here?
House Guys is our brand new, another IPA. It's a white IPA. It's basically a mix of a Belgian wheat beer and an IPA.
Okay.
It has Belgian yeast, coriander, and orange peel. And it's a very, very citrusy, delicious beer that's great for this type of weather. And also it's great for to pair with the salad. I know he's doing a mixed green salad
Oh yeah.
with watermelon
That's great.
and a mignonette.
So yeah, let's talk about what is a mignonette.
A mignonette is if you ever go to an oyster bar or anything like that, traditionally it's a little bit of acid, so some kind of vinegar, radish and or shallot, some sugar and some water, and then that's usually what people put in their oysters
Yeah.
to kind of get them to, just add a little acidity and flavor.
Sure.
So then I kind of decided to try and do it with melon to offset all the sweetness. We actually serve this at our restaurant, except for we serve it with Copa and Pleasant Ridge, but for the sake of the vegans also wanting to enjoy summer beers and flavors.
There we go. Well, head on over to Breakwater, folks, and enjoy some delicious food and some delicious beer to pair with it. Thanks so much for coming on today,
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you.
Don't go away. There's more Restaurant Show coming up right after this. Stick around.